Good day, everybody. Good afternoon. I said good day. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our All Recovery meeting. My name is Michael, one of your recovery coaches.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen. I'm also one of your capital recovery coaches.
All right. What we got? Any announcements today? Or
Just the
we got,
usual. A reminder that Recovery on Wheels will be out next Wednesday at Speranza Deli and Pizza on 761 Landis Avenue in Pain.
And that's on Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll be looking forward to seeing you guys out there. So make sure you'll come out and check us out for Recoveries on Wheels and getting ready for the holidays. Christmas is coming up real soon for those who celebrate Christmas.
We're having our 12 days of recovery gifts.
Yes. And we're on day number 5. We're on day number 5, right?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you want to come on in? Oh, welcome everybody. Oh, we do.
Hello. Well, can I ask you, because it might be a public service announcement?
No, yeah, you can.
If I'm understanding your email correctly, no vehicle in New Jersey after 1995 that's gas powered requires an inspection sticker anymore?
That's what that paper said.
Did you hear that?
I didn't know it either.
I didn't know that. So that means that we don't have to go there. If our vehicle is 1995 or newer and is powered by gasoline, we no longer have to go to the inspection station.
That's what that sticker says. If it's no, it says you're not transporting passengers.
No, unless it's passenger vehicles.
It does?
It says passenger vehicles.
Ah.
Okay, well, don't mind us,
But don't mind us.
hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. This is Miss Melissa Niles, the boss. So today we're going to go over some more of our recovery sober holiday tips. So we have sober holiday tips. This is the part 2 that we did. We started from I keep saying verse. We started from number 1 and we stopped at number 12, and we got this from mylifeinrecovery.com website, and they got like 37 tips on there that are really good. And today we're going to conclude with number 13 through 22. And then we'll come back next week and we'll do the last leading up to Christmas. And also don't forget about our holiday tips that we have 12 days that we have been sharing on the Capital Recovery page or on our YouTube page. They're very inspirational for me personally, but also for anybody out there to be able to give people hope. So you want to check those out.
Right.
So number 13. Go ahead, Ms. Karen.
Number 13 is be careful about what you eat and drink. Alcohol doesn't come only in a glass or a bottle.
Yeah, that's true.
It can come in bowls and plates too. And what you don't know can hurt you.
Yes.
One reason, of course, is that even a small amount of alcohol can trigger a relapse. How much does it take? A tiny drop, a small glass? There is no definitive answer, so it's best to avoid all alcohol and keep your risk as low as possible. Another reason is the psychological risk, the taste plus the thrill of knowing that you're consuming alcohol could turn into a compulsion to drink.
Yeah.
Remember that addiction is in the person, not the substance. It's crucial to stay away from the slippery slope of guessing what might be risky for you.
Everybody might have some risky situations. They might change though. Everybody's situation might not be the same, but you got to be very careful because one of the things that you think about alcohol is you look for it to be in a can or a bottle. You don't expect nobody to put it in nothing else, but that's
they know it was on vanilla extract.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of times you hear this, you might read something and say 1% alcohol. It's still, it's still alcohol. So sober tip number 14. Bring recovery reading when you travel. Good ebooks, the recovery book, My Life in Recovery, and other recovery literature on your phone or tablet before you leave town. Download some inspirational recovery talks as well. Let me just talk about that. You download some inspirational recovery talks as well. And you, whenever you traveling somewhere, I always try to keep some type of, I'm very cautious of downloading stuff because due to us having technology. So I'll make sure I have some that will work when I'm not online. Like sometimes you download stuff that only open up if you all have like internet access. So I'll make sure can I view this material even if I don't have the internet access. So make sure you bring sober holiday tip number 14 is bring recovery reading when you travel, wherever you go, wherever you're traveling for the holidays. Make sure you have something. Remember, everybody that you socialize with may not all be in recovery, so we can't expect them to have all the stuff that we need to maintain our sobriety. So bring your stuff with you. Load up. And I literally do that in my car. If you look on the side of my seat, I got reading materials for me. You look in my car department, I got reading stuff. You look in my back seat, all over my car, I got stuff that no matter how, I don't take it for granted. I always try to feed myself motivational things or things to keep me focused. Number 15.
Number 15 is practice Tamers every day. And the acronym for Tamers is think about recovery, talk about recovery, act on recovery, connect with others, meditate and minimize stress, exercise and eat well, relax and sleep.
Woo-hoo. Tamers, that's a good one. Think about your recovery, act on recovery, meditate, exercise, relax, and sleep. That all sounds so good. Think about it. You gotta think about your recovery, talk about your recovery, find people that you are comfortable sharing it with. Act on your recovery, meaning be proactive in putting the things in place or in line with what you need to have. Meditate and minimize stress. Every time I see something that talks about minimizing stress, I always think about God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. If I can know the wisdom to know the difference between the things I control versus the things I can't control, you automatically will minimize your stress. So you got to remember, don't try to stress yourself out over something that you have no control over. So let's go to sober holiday tip number 16. I think I have it on here. Make a plan for dealing with cravings. We talked about this before. Write up a list of what works for you. Calling someone, reading recovery books, a quick workout at a gym, prayer. Think about what has worked for you in the past and be ready with some solutions. Always have the solutions in place. Don't think, well, that might not happen to me or it won't happen to me. When you have some type of cravings, I came up with, or I was taught, my mentor taught me, was to tell on it. Previously, because I have about 12 going on 13 years of sobriety, but previously when I used to try to get clean and I had cravings, I was afraid to tell people that I was having a craving. I didn't know that actually telling on it actually took the power from the craving and put it back in my possession until my mentor taught me. Whenever you have a craving for something, you have to tell on it. So when you're having a craving for something, don't feel like something's wrong with you, but you need to tell somebody. Can't think of anything, if you can't think of anything else to do, try to stay sober for just 1 minute to 2 minutes, then start doing something. Watch dishes, read news, set your alarm for 5 minutes. When you're managed to get through 5 minutes, then try 10. Another strategy I used when I had cravings early in my recovery, I would call my friends, and at that time I wasn't telling them I had a craving for the drugs that I used to enjoy. I would just call them and have conversation about sports. And while I'm talking to them about a football game, the craving that I had, eventually it went away. But I called them with, basically I called them no purpose conversations on the phone. I was just calling because I was having a craving, and I was actually so scared that I was going to give into the craving, and at that time I didn't tell people that I had the craving, so I just called them and talk just talk to them. So you got to find something that works for you. Sober holiday tip number 17. What we got?
Remember that being in recovery doesn't mean instant heaven or a perfect life.
That's so true.
Coming to grips with the idea that sobriety is not instant heaven is an important step in recovery. Most people with addiction expect their upside down world to immediately turn right side up.
Yeah.
That rarely happens. If you've been misusing alcohol or drugs for a while, your brain may need several months or even longer to set itself right.
Yeah.
Give yourself time to build a happy new life.
Nice. Remember that being in recovery doesn't mean instant heaven or perfect life. For that matter, sometimes we think when we get some time clean, we think that everybody, well, my wife used to say, now I want the red carpet treatment. And I was like, what you mean? You got 60 days clean, now you want me to just bow down? And a lot of times that's what we expect. We forget that recovery is not, it's a process. It's not one event. It's not just one thing that happens and then everything is just going to be smoothed out and everything's just going to work out. We got to remember that being in recovery does not mean that it's going to be something that's going to happen instant. Some people that we might have hurt during our family, during our substance use, when we come around for holidays, it's possible that they might bring up those events. They might bring it up. So I don't want you to be shocked, and I don't want to give you a false idea that everything's going to be instant. Everybody's going to be happy for you. And some people will, some people won't, but I don't want you to get discouraged. You have to remember that being in recovery does not mean that it's going to be all heaven and red carpet treatment for you. That's just not the case. You might have some people, but for the most part, you got to remember it's a journey. It's a process that you have to get up. Most times, people in recovery have, whoever, unless they just starting out, have experience success at other periods of time. What I mean by that is multiple times I had got a year clean and only to go back to using. So when I came out of my situation this time, when I got to a year, everybody else that knew I got to a year multiple times, they looking at me like, yeah, okay. Let's see what happened next year. So I understood. They was like, we seen you do that before. So they had felt how they felt, which was legit. They had a reason to feel like that. I just want you to understand that you got to remember that recovery is a process. All right, are we at 18?
Yes.
Oh, number 18, we're moving here. It says sober holidays tip number 18. It's okay to tell people you are now in recovery. It's okay to tell people. There are a lot less stigma these days to being in recovery. That is so true. Nearly everyone knows someone who is in recovery and very open about it. It's your choice whether or not you want to tell people. Remember, it's your choice. You won't get looked down upon if I know you in recovery, but you're not telling nobody in your recovery. That's your choice. I'm not gonna mention it. If you mention it, it's up to you. I don't care. I personally wear mine on my sleeve because my purpose in life is to attract the individuals who knew me when I used to be like that. So my purpose of me often talking about it is to try to get them possibly to join me in this particular field. It's your choice whether or not you want to tell. One good reason to be open about it is if your friends don't know you've given up alcohol or drugs, they may lead you into temptation without intending to. Another reason when you let it be known that you don't drink or use, you offer support and encouragement to others who are thinking about sobriety but are afraid to take the leap. I just was saying that. I'm telling you, because some people won't try something to do something different unless they see somebody that they know has experienced some type of success. So I don't know why it's like that, but it's sort of like, how you want to tell your kids something, when people who have children, you want to tell your kids something and they don't listen to you, and then your own brother tell them the exact same thing and they get it. It's like the craziest thing ever. But that's how it is. I don't know why it's like that. But another reason, when you let your recovery know, you just might be the catalyst that gets someone else started on their recovery. Again, remember, it's your choice. It's your choice if you want to share it or not. It's totally up to you. But the tip is, it's okay to tell people you're now in recovery.
Sober holiday tip number 19. Make a plan for staying sober at parties. Decide in advance that there's no way in the world that you will drink or use drugs at the event. Ask for help from your higher power because you may need it. Know and rehearse exactly what you will say if someone asks, would you like to drink or want to do a line?
Make a plan for staying sober at parties. That is so important. Make plans. Remember, don't wait till something happens and say what I'm going to do. Obviously, if you're in that situation, you have no other choice to figure out what to do. But if you make plans for staying sober at parties, you can bring. I suggest always, especially early in recovery, I always made sure I had somebody with me. No matter where I was going, I will always, and it's funny, I was telling Craig and Karen one day that I'm originally from Atlantic City, and I went to Atlantic City, and I rode past a house that I used to get high, and when I rode past the house, I started getting nervous. It just wasn't right. But anyway, I went to Atlantic City with one of my friends, and I left him. I remember being on the expressway, and he calling me saying, "Where you parked the car at?" And I said, "Oh, I forgot we was together." He said, "So you left?" That's how important that's how dedicated and important I believe that my sobriety was. I literally left. I had to go. So I made the plan that if it was something that's difficult that I'm facing and I don't know what to do, I just remove myself from the situation. And this tip says, make a plan for staying sober at parties. And sometimes you might have to just leave. Sometimes you might have to just get in your car or get your ride and get out of it. Let's look at number 20. Number 20 is stay sober at parties, serve yourself. If you can, bring your own water bottles or glass full of soda so you don't even have to go near the bar. If you don't bring your own, when you arrive, head straight to the liquid refreshments and help yourself to a safe option. Keep your beverage in your hand. Very important. I tell my kids all that. If you turn your back from the beverage, leave the beverage. Man, I paid. I don't care because I literally know my uncle did that, and he was a basketball star, and he turned his back. Somebody put something in his drink, and he never recovered. Wow. So keep your beverage in your hand for the rest of your time at a party. That way you won't have to keep turning down offers of something to drink. People won't be asking you and unknowingly tempting you. If you set your drink down while dancing or when you step into the bathroom, get a new one. I'm telling you, get a new one when you return. This is 101 here. Don't take a chance on anyone having accidentally switched drinks or good naturally topped yours off, or even worse, slip the drugs into them. That's exactly what happened. You got to remember, If you're going to parties and things during the holidays, you're going to go to different events. This is something if you don't celebrate holidays, but most times people go to a lot of different events. When you go to these events, bring your own drinks, man. If you have a problem with alcohol, you have a problem with something, make sure you just bring your own drinks. It's very important. Number 21.
Bring your own beverage. If a holiday celebration includes the use of alcoholic beverages such as wine at Passover, make sure in advance that there are substitutes such as grape juice for you and anyone else who doesn't want to drink the harder stuff.
You need to bring your own beverage. Again, that is important that if you're going to all these different types of places, you have to stay over control over you. And it's something that you probably think is not serious. It's not that serious, but it actually is. One day we were sitting, and I never had, I never really was an alcohol drinker. I didn't really like alcohol. But anyway, I haven't drunk alcohol in, I don't even remember. But one day we was at a restaurant and we wanted some type of drink I was getting. I was getting like a strawberry lemonade or something, whatever it was, right? But I didn't notice that it was the ones I was ordering was the alcohol, right? So my wife was right there. We ordered two, right? Because we used to get strawberry lemonade or something. I can't remember what it was, but this particular place, all their drinks was like alcohol. So they bring it out, and my wife was on the phone. She was talking, so the lady said, all of the alcohol drinks are not refillable, right? So we was like, yo, this alcohol in here? Like, we didn't even drink it yet. But you see how easy it was. Just she didn't know, the lady didn't know. So sometimes when you go to these places, you got to think it's you have to be very mindful, because she didn't know. She was just doing what she normally do as a waitress. The place they had non-alcoholic beverages, but she was assuming, since everybody else was getting it, that's what we was ordering. Mm-hmm. And it was just so subtle, like it was just so easy. She just put it right there, and that was that. So sometimes you have to be very mindful. Like it says, you can substitute some of this stuff with grape juice or any other juice you want. Sober tip number 22. Stay sober at the party. Don't go at it alone. Bring along an AA buddy. Don't leave them. Or hire a sober companion. Or take someone at the party into your confidence. Candor will serve you better than pride, embarrassment, or guilt. Tell them that you can drink and enlist them as a bodyguard. It will make the event easier for you and will keep you from winding up in the relapse. This is good. If you can't take someone with you, arrange to text someone throughout the evening, or make a plan to call your sponsor every hour or an hour. Build in some accountability. It's very important that you don't go at it alone. And I can't keep not expressing this, especially when you're early in your recovery, where you're between 1 and 3 years or something like that. That's still considered early. It's not more than that. But you want to make sure you have somebody with you, an accountability partner. And even though I'm almost going on to my 13th year, I still do it. I still always try to say, tell somebody where I'm going, and I'm going here and I'm doing this. I try to have somebody with me. It's more about being accountable to not only yourself, but to everybody that's connected to you. Because when you're not on top of what you're supposed to be doing, the old saying is, I ain't hurting nobody but me. Yeah, that's a total lie. Because when I was jacking up my life, I was hurting my family, my kids, and everybody. Everybody gets hurt when we're not right. So when you stay sober at the parties, you just got to remember, don't go at it alone. Try to take somebody that you can have with you. I don't know who that might be. It might be a sponsor. It might be a recovery coach. It might be somebody that you can take along with you. But always remember, it's very important to all these tips. So we're going to go over 1 through 24, we will take turns reading them. 22, I'm sorry. And then the next week, Tuesday, we'll go over the rest. So verse 1.
Tip number 1. Remind yourself every single morning how good it feels to be sober and how great it will feel come January.
Tip number 2, keep your expectation realistic so you don't set yourself up for an emotional letdown.
Tip number 3, plan activities other than sitting around and gabbing.
Tip number 4, limit the amount of time you spend with relatives who make you crazy.
Tip number 5, if you're traveling, go to meetings wherever you are.
Tip number 6, if the holidays mean visiting your old hometown, then take time to see old friends you enjoy. Avoid those you use drinks or drugs with.
Tip number 7, remember what recovery zone you're in.
Tip number 8, do a recovery zone recheck before the holidays get started.
Tip number 9, if you're flying and feeling vulnerable, ask for help.
Tip number 10, plan your own celebrations.
Tip number 11, take it easy.
Tip number 12, don't romance the drink or drug.
Tip number 13, be careful about what you eat and drink.
Tip 14, bring recovery reading when you travel.
Tip number 15, practice tamers every day.
Tip 16, make a plan for dealing with cravings.
Number 17, remember that being in recovery doesn't mean instant heaven or a perfect life.
Tip 18, it's okay to tell people you are now in recovery.
Tip number 19, make a plan for staying sober at parties.
Tip 20, stay sober at the party. Serve yourself.
Tip 21, bring your own beverage.
And tip 22, stay sober at the party. Don't go at it alone. Now that will be the tips, and we will conclude Tuesday at 10 a.m. We will be doing, I'm saying Thursday at 1 p.m. We will finish our tips. And remember, if you reach out to us or you need to reach out for us for any type of recovery service or anything like that, we're going to do a PowerPoint and tell you all of the things that we offer you guys at Capital Recovery Center. My name's Michael, one of your Capital Recovery coaches.